Hey guys, Crystal here, and welcome to Veddy Christmas Episode 2. Or Vedded is another name for it. Today, since you've probably read the title, we are going to be tier ranking games I've played in 2023. Now, there are some games that I played off the channel, and some I played on the channel, because I thought I played more games, but looking back over my most played and the channel history and stuff like that, some of the games I thought I played this year, I actually played last year. So with the criteria being that it's 2023, yeah, I need a little bit more padding. Just little. So we're going to shrink down into a more viewable size, and we'll go through the criteria and get to the games. First things first, Game of the Year. These are the games that I hold very close to my soul, and I want to snuggle them and squeeze them and name them Bob. They're my absolute top favorites, okay? There might only be one, there might be a couple. We'll get to it. Next one, Constant Replay. These are on, I always come back to them. They are my comfort animal. It's gonna keep happening, and I've probably done it a few times with some of these examples. Might replay it again. Well, that's pretty much self-explanatory. Well, to me it's self-explanatory. Might not be self-explanatory to you. These are ones that, you get a craving and just an itch to play again. So you go back, but it's not very often, maybe a couple times a year, or a couple times every couple of years. This is their Stardew Valley for me and Animal Crossing, stuff like that. Alright? Shelf decor. Shelf decor is where you realize that you might be part dragon and are kind of obsessed with hoarding things just a little. Mine are book, dice, and video games. This is, you put them on the shelf and they look pretty because you look back fondly at the memories of the times you played it and never want to play it again for one reason or another. I am looking at you, Ocarina of Time, because I'm sorry the water level can go suck. Start a leaf blower. For an example. Alright. And the last one, resale value. Resale value, you pile all of your, I'm never gonna touch this in a 10-foot pole and it does not go worth going on the shelf. You put it in a bag and you take it to somewhere not EB Games and you sell it for cash so you can get that game that you've been looking forward to for your entire existence. There's at least one on here. At least one. Okay? Okay. So, let's get this party rolling. We're gonna start from left to right. Devil in Me. Now, I love supermassive games, okay? I loved Until Dawn. I loved Men of Medan. They're really solid titles. But progressively over the years, they've kind of just And I didn't mind the quarry so much. It was fine, but I feel like I had more problems with this game than anything else. And the quarry crashed on me like nobody's business, okay? This one, I don't like slashers as much as I love secret guilty pleasure loving true crime and stuff like that. I felt the writing fell flat. I felt the killer was just It was very Scooby-Doo Mysteries, but they didn't pull it off enough for me. And the characters were the most unlikable sons of motherfuckers. I hated them. I hated them so much. So, I guess you might guess where this is going. If this was a physical game, because I own it on Steam, I would resale value it. I'd go get Pokemon Scarlet. I'd put it aside for pre-ordering the next WoW expansion. This game is not worth the price of admission. I am sorry if you liked it, but guess what? Yeah. Next. Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, a game that I loved. It is one of my top 10, but this one is not bad. It's not bad. I'm gonna get slack for this. I know it. But it didn't pull me in. I know I've got a lot of projects and stuff going on, so I don't necessarily have time to keep jumping around in games. But I make time for some of the games on this list. One of which is my entire personality right now, hint, hint. And this just didn't give me that desire to come back. Like, the mechanics were cool, the building your own things, like motorbikes and stuff like that, all out of almost like precursor technology. Mass Effect reference. All of that was solid. Not knocking the game in any way. It's just, it didn't pull me in, and it pulled hubby in, so I just watched him play, and neither of us have finished the game. So that should say something. A little bit. I might go back to it. I might. But it's kind of here for me. But since I did love it, it just didn't get you. It's gonna go there. I feel like I don't need to explain this one. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines game came out so long ago. It was like 2008, give or take. Vampire RPG, you've seen it on the channel before. There is a full playlist. It's a partial playlist because of Roll at Random, which part of me feels like Roll at Random might be abandoned. Whoops, but we kind of saw that coming. Well, to comment down below if you want to see the Roll at Random or the games from Roll at Random at some point in the future. The ones I haven't finished. This one right here is just, I love it. It might be old as dirt, comparatively speaking, but it is a vampire RPG based on one of my favorite tabletops to watch. I've never played Vampire the Masquerade, someday life goals. And it's so, I love these RPGs that just like here. It's like, it's D&D, but it's not. And you get to be a vampire, and you get to do the feeding and the eating and I have never actually tried to romance anybody, so I don't know if there's a romance option in this game. It's great. It's got firearms, which I'm not particularly a fan of guns, but you know, it's one of the games that I excuse. I'll play even though. So, yeah, I'm rambling. I'm not finishing my sentences. It's not quite game of the year. Okay, because I've only played it a couple of times, and I go back to it at least once a year, so it's in the constant replay, because, it's my Dracula game. It always comes back. You know what I mean? Okay. We'll go talk about Dave the Diver. Dave the Diver is another one of those ones I didn't play on the channel, and I probably should have. But I wanted something for me when I'm having just my bad allergy day, and I just want something cozy where I can curl up in my blanket with my tea. It is a one of those kitchen simulator, but also it's fishing. So it's like you play this guy, this heavily manipulated dude named Dave. And he is a scuba diver, and he goes into the water, and he catches the fish, and he sells the fish. And his partner, you know, has this wonderful idea of starting this restaurant and doing the things. And so they take the fish that they catch and they put it in a restaurant. So you're also helping serve the restaurant. It's kind of like Diner Dash. Or Restaurant Dash. Love that game too. Similar vibe. And it's pixelated and it's cozy. And there are quests. So it's kind of RPG-like. It's super cute. And it's also one of the games that's kind of fallen down the wayside right now because your girl is having a problem with all the spinning plates. And someday I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna finish it, and it's gonna be the best day ever. So it's going into might play again. Do I want? No, we're not gonna. We're gonna talk about this later. No, okay, fine. Fine. I feel like we're spoiling the plot a little bit here, but let's talk about Baldur's Gate. This has taken up my personality. This has taken up my friends' personalities. I have at least 12 playthroughs. We're still playing it on the channel once Alan Wake 2 is done. It is so much fun. I love it. It's a time, and I need it. And I'm always creating the character creation is chef's kiss. The writing is chef's kiss. There are moments where my soul breaks into a million pieces, and there are moments where I'm like, oh dear God, what did I do? I love it. I have no problem. There is okay, I have a couple of problems. I do. But some of them have been fixed with the latest patch, like being able to manage all of your character's inventory. I'm sorry, what? Yay. Like there's some bugs, and some of them are very game breaking, and like Baldur's Gate 3 is this pinnacle of gaming for me, but it is brought down a little bit by the weight of its bugs. Like I in one of my playthroughs that I'm working on, the Dark Urge playthrough that I mentioned in the previous video yesterday, I was romancing a character, and their pinnacle romance scene, the end of their arc, if you were, was a black screen. I didn't get to watch any of it. There are moments where there are freezes and there are crashes and stuff like that, and to have this game that I am putting on this pedestal just upset me, and not always in the good way. It almost breaks it. But at the same time, I have not had so much fun in a game in years. In years. Because I think about it when I'm not playing. I talk about it when I'm not playing. I've had different dreams, because like I'll play it and then I'll go to bed. So I wake up the next day and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a dream I had about playing Baldur's Gate 3. It's become my entire personality. Send help. Next one on the list. Next one on the list. This is one that's not done. It's fine. I probably should have put this video closer to the end of the month, but you know what? I don't care. Alan Wake 2. Let me tell you, I have talked about it a million times before. I love the Alan Wake universe. I love the Remedy universe. I loved Control. I loved Alan Wake 1. Hopefully we can get some Alan Wake on the channel this month as well, so you guys can watch in your own time. Alan Wake, if you want to see me play it. It's so much fun. I love it. Alan Wake 2 is fun. It's a little herky-jerky, but it's drawing me in. And so far it hasn't crashed again. So I love how it's constantly having me question what is real and what isn't, what is working and what's not, who the bad guys are and who they aren't, who is any, like, I have questions upon questions and upon questions. And if you haven't seen this, I have the playlist, the live stream playlist is there. Yeah, it's so much fun, and I'm questioning everything. And also, this week's musical episode was amazing. Oh, I want to put it in Game of the Year. I do. I don't know if it deserves it, because it's not finished yet. But maybe, like, the last episode, the last day of the stream, we'll talk about where it actually goes in the list. But temporarily, it's gonna go here. Yes, I play The Sims. You've seen the episodes where I build the houses for my characters in my book, so I counted it. I've also played the expansion, the Growing Up Together. They just added a bunch of new kids stuff and toddler stuff, and how they've changed how they're interactable and stuff like that, and a new life stage altogether, and that's a lot of fun. It's still a buggy disaster zone sometimes. It's fine. So I love building more than I love playing the game, to be perfectly honest, because, like, sometimes if you have a pet, the game will bug out. Sometimes the kids will bug out the game. Sometimes you're randomly just standing in places. I understand some bugs, but I feel like Sims 4 is more bugs than playability sometimes. So I'll probably come back. It'll probably be like a couple of years, considering the games that are up here. Okay. Resi 4. I've never played Resident Evil. This was my first Resident Evil game. I've tried to play this game before, went back when it was on GameCube, and I just didn't get pulled in. As far as the remake is concerned, it was a lot of fun. I did play it on the channel. Again, it's another one of my gets the excuse. I excuse it for having guns because it's spooky and it's scary. And Romance Leon is kind of my spirit animal and also Astarion. I'm just saying. It is an alternate universe Astarion because when we played Resident Evil 4, I picked Romance Leon and he had white hair and a poet shirt. That's all I gotta say about that. It was enjoyable. It is also shelf decor. Because it's one of those games, you finish it, you beat it, you're done. There is really no playability. There is DLC out before anyone who has played this game or wants me to play anything, the DLC. I am aware that Separate Ways is out, but your girl is broke, so until she can afford to check that out, it's going in shelf decor. Because it was a fun game, but she beat it, and we're done. World of Warcraft, specifically World of Warcraft Dragonflight. Because I've been playing World of Warcraft Dragonflight. I've also been playing World of Warcraft Classic Hard Mode. And it's another one of my constant go-to games. Mostly because my friend Dio plays it. And I love her. She is my people. And I want to talk to her. I want to hang out. And want to do stuff. Even if we're not doing stuff together. Just like the fact that we're just chatting while we're playing the game is like chicken soup for my soul. And I love it. And the writing for Dragonflight is chef's kiss. It's been the best writing since any expansion has come before it. I've said it. So, just for the nature of what World of Warcraft is, and the fact that I've been playing World of Warcraft since it came out, it's gonna go in constantly replay, because, again, I am Dracula, it always comes back. Or I always come back. Yeah. Woo-wee! We're almost there! We're almost to the end! Vampire. This is another game that I have played for myself. I have also played for the channel. Ignore all the little... Oh, you can't see it on the camera. Ha! My editing job of the title is crap. But, I've played this game a few times. I've never beat this game. And I don't know if I never, ever will. Because I have never, ever had a vampire who was so goddamn dry and just so boring. And the world is... like, it's trying to be, oh my god, what was that game? Dishonored. It feels like it's trying to be a Dishonored type game, and it's not. This game is very much a product of the year it came out, when everyone was making this kind of game, but this had vampires in it, and... I'm bored. I was only going to play it on the channel because it was part of the list, and every time I would roll, I was praying it wouldn't show up. Full transparency. It's boring. I hate it. I also do not enjoy vampires who hate themselves. Own your bullshit. If you rather be, you know, a human-loving, you know, cuddly vampire, that's okay. You know, a little bit of brood isn't gonna kill anybody. But the more you... like, I want to cure myself because I am a monster, and monsters are monsters, and rawr. Go fuck yourself, buddy. Go walk in the sunlight, okay? Just... I love vampires who aren't boring, and brooding, I hate myself, so I'm gonna be miserable about it, and I just want to change my existence. And, I have no time for you. And unless we want to bring it back for a roll at random, if it was physical. Because it's not even pretty enough to be on my show. Sorry. Alright. Last one. I feel like we're ending this video in a whimper and not of a bang. But I like V Rising. V Rising is fun. I want to build the castle. I want to be the lord of all vampires, or lady of all vampires. And I want to finish this game. I really just want to dive in and see what it has to offer. Because right now we're playing games that are better. And I don't mean like, I mean I do mean better, but I don't mean better. Like they're Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate 3, and V Rising are all very different games, and I would play them for very different reasons. Okay. But right now, I'm living in my Baldur's Gate 3 era. I'm living in my Alan Wake era. And V Rising, I feel like it's a cozy game with fangs for me. You know? Like, we're just, when I'm streaming it, we're just vibing, we're chatting, we're having a great time as I'm running around the field trying not to set myself on fire, take a drink. You know? Like, it's so much fun. So, I'll be back. It's not quite constant replay, but, you know, it'll happen again. It has to. I want to finish it. But it's not constant, you know, because it's not the coziest. Like, it's in that weird midline, but I'm trying to be hard on my own rules. Alright. So, those are the games of 2023. Every game I've played, which, again, isn't a lot. Seems to be more than the books I read, but that's, you know, that's fine. We're not talking about that. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed checking out my list of games that I love and games that I like and games that I really wish I could get that time back. But another Veddy has come to the end. And yeah. We'll be back streaming on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back streaming on Wednesday, or Tuesday, 10 a.m., Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for more Alan Wake. We're also back tomorrow with another video, so you gotta come back and check that out. And then I'm also going to be streaming on the 10th, a guest house over on Inevitable Books' channel. Gonna be doing that some more. And yeah. Day 2 is done. We'll see you tomorrow. Or wherever it is you find me next. Until then, I love and appreciate every single one of you. I don't know how to do my outro. Bye!